Congratulations, Officer Hopps.
I won't let you down. This has been my dream since I was a kid.
You know, it's a real proud day for us little guys.
Judy Hopps and Don Bellwether serve as perfect narrative mirrors to one another because their motivations are rooted in the exact same social reality. Both characters exist as small prey animals in a world that often overlooks or underestimates them based on their physical stature. However, the way they internalize this treatment leads them to opposite ends of the moral spectrum. Judy's journey is defined by a refusal to let her environment dictate her character. Despite facing constant skepticism and being told by almost everyone, from her parents to the police chief, that a rabbit cannot be a cop, she chooses to remain optimistic. Her response to being pushed aside is to prove her worth through merit and empathy. She operates under the belief that individual actions can bridge the gaps created by prejudice, and she is willing to put herself in uncomfortable judgmental situations if it means she can contribute to a better society. Bellwether, on the other hand, represents the darker side of that same struggle. While Judy views the world's flaws as hurdles to overcome, Bellwether views them as a justification for revenge. Years of being ignored and mistreated by larger animals, particularly in her role as an undervalued assistant to the mayor, caused her to develop a deep-seated resentment. Instead of trying to fix the system from within through kindness, she decides to dismantle it by weaponizing fear. Her plan to frame predators by making them savage is a calculated tactic to flip the power dynamic of the city. She doesn't just want equality, she wants total control through the marginalization of those she fears. This makes their conflict more than just a hero fighting a villain, it is a clash between two different reactions to the same systemic pressure. Judy chooses to believe in the potential for unity, while Bellwether decides that the only way to be safe is to become the oppressor herself.
So that's it. Prey fears predator and you stay in power?
Yeah, pretty much.
It won't work.
Fear always works. And I'll dart every predator in Zootopia to keep it that way.
Judy's optimism is a complex trait that acts as both her greatest strength and a notable weakness. On one hand, it prevents her from becoming bitter or cynical despite the discrimination she faces. On the other hand, this same optimism is often rooted in a naive view of how the world functions. Because she expects the world to be fair and people to be inherently good, she is frequently hit hard by the reality of systemic prejudice. She is a character with a good heart, but she is far from perfect. She carries her own biases, which she is forced to confront throughout the story. The defining difference between her and a character like Bellwether is that Judy possesses the humility to acknowledge her mistakes and the will to learn from them. Even when she is overlooked because of her size, she remains committed to the idea that change is possible for everyone. Bellwether stands in stark contrast to this because she completely rejects the possibility of growth or reconciliation. Her character suffers from a lack of screen time, which leaves much of her backstory to be inferred from her actions and brief appearances. We know she reached the position of assistant mayor, but she was treated more like a glorified secretary than a colleague. This constant marginalization fueled a desire for a radical shift in the social order. She realized that because prey animals vastly outnumber predators, she could use that demographic advantage to seize power.
We're on the same team, Judy. Underestimated, underappreciated. Aren't you sick of it? Think of it. 90% of the population united against a common enemy will be unstoppable.
Her goal was not just to protect prey, but to systematically erase the influence of predators by manufacturing a crisis. Because Bellwether is a twist villain who is only fully revealed toward the end of the film, we don't get the same deep character exploration that other antagonists might receive. But the comparison to Judy remains strong because they are two sides of the same coin. They both started from a place of being undervalued and pushed around by those larger than them. The core of their conflict is how they chose to handle that pain. Judy used her experience to develop empathy and a desire to improve the city for everyone, while Bellwether used her experience as a blueprint for a conspiracy built on fear.
Well, our city is 90% prey, Judy, and right now they're just really scared. You're a hero to them.
No!
Oh, Nick! Yes, police! There's a savage fox in the Natural History Museum. Officer Hopps is down. Please hurry.
No.
One chose to rise above her circumstances to become a better person, while the other chose to use her circumstances as an excuse to become an oppressor.